This is your news source evening bulletin for today, Tuesday, the 7th day of April in the year 2026. I'm Gordon Mosley reporting, and here is what we're tracking tonight. A post-mortem examination conducted on the body of 7-year-old Isabella de Badial this afternoon confirmed that a young girl died by manual strangulation. The child's mother, 26-year-old Sarah Shiv-Prasad, remains on the police guard in hospital and is likely to face a murder charge for her own daughter's death. The woman allegedly murdered the young child by strangling her and attempted to murder her other child, a 1-year-old boy, but he survived. She also inflicted wounds on herself. The incident unfolded on Sunday morning in the village of Firish in Quarantine Berbice. A number of persons became concerned on Sunday morning after the woman posted a photograph on social media with herself and the 2 children, declaring that it would have been their last photograph together, as she asked to be forgiven. Some persons who recognized her raised an alarm and contacted family members. The woman's mother rushed to the home and came face to face with the tragic scene. The mother and the 2 young children were rushed to the hospital, where doctors pronounced the 7-year-old daughter dead and admitted the mother and the other child.
So I opened the window, see both of them. She and the daughter and the son lying on the bed, and she was bleeding. And then I calling on them, but the little boy, he responded to us and raised his foot. And then I tell the boy, bar the hammer with the neighbor hammer, and then we break the door and go in. So as soon as we go in, we hustle with the 2 children them. I pick up the little boy first, and we start shaking me up. So we start with the little girl, but she not giving no response to us. And I was trying to wake her up, the mother, but she didn't respond to us too. But when I see the 2 foot the bleeding, she cut her the back with the knife. And I see a bottle of bleach down there, and the whole place was smelling bleach. So I started waking she up and shaking she up, but she didn't respond to us.
So what you did afterwards?
I called out for the neighbors, and the neighbors and come out, and they called for police, and the police and come, but we already bring out the little child. So when the police come and carry the body to the hospital, and the child, the girl.
Shiv-Prasad had complained about going through a tough time at home after her reputed husband left the home during an argument and did not return for a number of days. The grieving father said he was shocked by his reputed wife's actions. In an interview with reporters, Kerwin Davidial explained that he went to his mother's residence to cool down after a heated argument with his wife. He said on Sunday morning he received a troubling message from her, but it was too late.
This morning she called me. She told me that, I think she messaged me first and told me that I have 15 minutes to reach back home or I would regret it. And then she called me and showed me the kids lying, looked like they were sleeping, and told me that it's too late.
The man said the woman would often use the children as pawns to get to him whenever they had disagreements or arguments in the home.
To be honest, we used to have a lot of fights. She used to cheat, and whenever I catch her, I just always go by my mom to cool down. And she would use the kids to manipulate me every time to come back.
News source understands that the woman will face murder and attempted murder charges this week. More news coming up in a moment.
It all starts with one. Maybe it's one look. You know the one. Or one touch. Even one word. I can start with one step. Or one promise. One thrill. One first time. One deep breath. One leap of faith. One day to remember, or one night to forget. One moment, so many stories that make up one crazy, average, everyday, fabulous life. We get one life, just one. Make your move. It all starts with one.
Dead the horse with Bowser.
This is your time.
Yeah, but we didn't get all we needed last Christmas, and now we can.
Republic Bank Cash Bonanza.
Let's renovate our home and purchase appliances.
And plan a trip with the kids.
Or buy a new car.
Republic Republic Bank Cash Bonanza. Same-day approvals apply in person or safely online. Plus, a chance to win lots of prizes. This is your time to get what you need. Republic Bank Cash Bonanza.
London, are you ready? This Town Week, we'll turn the heat all the way up. On Saturday, May 2nd, the ultimate experience. Team Rodney's Regional All Black. Dark Night at the Retrieve Ground Mackenzie. Performing live, straight out of Jamaica. 450. And turning up the stage, Jamal. Plus, special guest performance from Lyndon's very own, One Dan. Hosted by the unstoppable Gully Rez. Music powered by an all-star DJ lineup. Tickets are moving fast. Early Bird General $5,000. Stage front VIP $15,000. Elevated all-inclusive VIP $35,000. Grab yours now in Georgetown at HJ Box Office, Fireside Suite, and Freddy's Stop Rock Market in London at Rodney's Court. Word Access Top-Up Shop at Hexton Online and Tropical Reflections. Team Rodney, Regional All Black. It's not just a party, it's an experience.
An assistant superintendent of police is under investigation by the Office of Professional Responsibility after he was captured on camera while off duty, threatening to take the life of another man during a confrontation.
No, man.
In a statement, the Guyana Police Force said it has taken note of the video, which is circulating on social media. The police force said the conduct displayed in the video by the senior police officer has been brought to the attention of the Commissioner of Police, who has since directed the Office of Professional Responsibility to commence a thorough investigation into the circumstances surrounding the incident. The Guyana Police Force said professional conduct, restraint and accountability are expected of all ranks, whether on or off duty, and any behavior found to be inconsistent with the standards of the force will be addressed in accordance with the law and the established disciplinary procedures. The force also said it remains committed to upholding the highest standards of professionalism and public trust, and treats all allegations of misconduct with the seriousness they warrant. The incident reportedly took place outside a nightclub over the weekend, and the policeman could be heard issuing threats and using several expletives against another man, as the two argued. Just 1 year ago, the same assistant superintendent was fingered in the shooting death of a young man in Linden, who was reportedly part of a protest over the police shooting death of another Linden youth. The assistant superintendent was never charged in connection with the shooting death of the protester, and that matter has been under investigation for the past year. Well, the Georgetown Chamber of Commerce and Industry has issued a call on the government of Guyana to suspend all talks with Suriname on the development of the Quarantine River Bridge, in wake of Suriname's move to institute charges for the use of the Quarantine River. In a statement, the GCCI said as a nation, Guyana must not continue to extend the hand of friendship without reciprocity, adding that Guyana's resources must be channeled towards undertakings that yield mutual benefit and ought not include partners who frustrate and obstruct people's advancement. The Chamber of Commerce added that Guyana cannot continue to act in good faith and pursue infrastructural development that will benefit Suriname, while Suriname enforces measures intended to stymie the development of Berbice. The Chamber of Commerce noted that the recent unilateral imposition of exorbitant fees for the use of shared waterways is a slap in the face of Guyana's continued attempts to foster bilateral trade relations, adding that while those imposed fees are a new development, it brings to the fore the long-standing challenges experienced by Guyana as a result of Suriname's lack of good faith and direct attempts to prevent the advancement of the business community in the Berbice area. It was also noted that Guyanese businesses and fishermen have repeatedly complained about the challenges experienced as a result of Suriname's unfair and one-sided practices for several years. And Suriname's lopsided approach has created obstacles for Guyanese businesses and fishermen, the Chamber of Commerce said. The Chamber also added to that, Guyana continues to witness the proliferation of counterfeit and illegal goods entering the country from Suriname. It said in addition to the health implications, the movement of those illegal products have also created challenges for the local manufacturing sector. The GCCI said the transgressions against Guyana have not been limited to its businesses, but there looms a greater infringement of the country's sovereignty. The Chamber recalled the use of force by Suriname in 2000 against a CGX rig, which it said delayed first oil by Guyana for some 19 years, in spite of the fact that the rig was in Guyana's waters. The government of Guyana in late March formally lodged a protest with the government of Suriname over the institution of charges to use the Quarantine River. Timber and quarry operations are among those most affected, the Guyana government said, while noting that the troubling development has grave implications for economic activities and the long-standing arrangements between Guyana and Suriname.
GECOM is currently conducting a national registration exercise. If you have moved to a new address since you were registered, you are required to update your address by applying for a transfer to ensure your address is accurate. Where to apply for a transfer? Visit the GECOM registration office responsible for your area of residence to apply for a transfer. When to apply for a transfer? You can apply to have your address updated during this national registration exercise. This registration exercise will end on May 29, 2026. The office hours for GECOM are permanent registration offices open Monday to Thursdays from 8 to 12 hours and 13 to 16 hours 30, and on Fridays from 8 to 12 hours and 13 to 15 hours 30. The offices will be closed on weekends and holidays. For more information, contact the GECOM on 225-027729 or visit www.gecom.org.gy.
Deck the halls with Bowser.
This is your time.
Yeah, but we didn't get all we needed last Christmas, and now we can.
Republic Bank Cash Bonanza.
Let's renovate our home and purchase appliances.
And plan a trip with the kids.
Or buy a new car.
Republic Bank Cash Bonanza. Same day approvals. Apply in person or safely online. Plus a chance to win lots of prizes. This is your time to get what you need. Republic Bank Cash Bonanza.
Girl Guides Pavilion will have it going on Thursday, 9th of April, when 5-Star General Entertainment and Black Buck Delight send on their annual Easter White and Anything Overseas reunion party. Super Terry and Big P one-man bands, along with Mad Max, Father Moe, and Green Dungs, and Selector Clive's gonna rock you all night.
The vibes are gonna be epic.
Thursday, April 9th. Girl Guides Pavilion is the place to be.
Washi. Hi people. Washing made so easy since I found Washi. Washing me use wash me clothes and I can say Washi soap powder wash clothes so nice. Washi soap powder leave your clothes color bright. Washi soap powder leave me clothes smelling nice, of course. So give thanks to Washi soap powder for doing my laundry right. Keep my clothes color bright. Have my clothes smelling nice for sure. I could not ask for more. Comes in lemon and original. It is a washing machine in a pack. Wash your soap powder, wash clothes so nice. Wash your soap powder, leave your clothes color bright. Wash your soap powder, have my clothes smelling nice, of course.
Distributors located in the Stabrook Market.
Your business is built on hard work, vision, and the drive to succeed. At GBTI, we understand what it takes to grow. That's why we offer Grow, a small business service designed to help your business expand, adapt, and reach its full potential. From new opportunities to new milestones, we're here to support you every step of the way. Grow from GBTI. Progress starts here.
Georgetown Mayor Alfred Mentor believes solid waste collection in the city is under control, as he brushed aside concerns that waste management remains one of the city's most visible and pressing issues. Though litter and piles of garbage could be seen across the city, particularly in a number of vacant lots, the city mayor, during an appearance on Sources, insisted that with millions of dollars invested in waste collection, waste management in the city is under control.
I don't know where garbage is piled up. What I know is that we spend over $400 million on our contractors, which is about 4 to 5 to 6 contractors. We also have a department of solid waste department of the council that deal with certain areas, and they also are responsible for things like indiscriminate dumping, where people dump at different sites. We have designated trucks to deal with that. We've also added additional staff to complement what we have.
The mayor said while the council is responsible for the collection of garbage in the various wards of the city, in addition to the clearing of drains, the National Drainage and Irrigation Authority, through an arrangement with the council, is responsible for clearing drains leading to the cokers.
There's an arrangement between us and the NDI. This is not something that put in place yesterday. This is something, it not happened in the PPP last regime, 5 years ago. This happened under the APNU AFC regime, where we put systems in place to have persons clear those cokers or in front of them. And NDIA is responsible for that, to preserve the integrity of the pumps. And that they have systems in place. They have a role with us, and we have a role as a council because we have the staff there. But they have created and put systems in place to allow for that. So that's an obligation that they have to deal with, and that's something that they will continue to deal with.
Overall, he gives City Hall a score of 8 out of 10 for its management of waste in the city, but accepted that there is room for improvement. The mayor, however, said that there needs to be a national conversation and a call to action to reduce, if not bring an end, to the indiscriminate dumping of garbage. He said there needs to be a culture change, noting that the issue of poor waste disposal is not limited to Georgetown.
Feel strongly we have the issue of garbage under control. If you got to give us marks out of 10, we get 8. We still 8 out of 10. We still get 80%. The 10, 15, 20%. We're still working to ensure that we deal with these issues. So there are little pockets around the place that we have to address. We will continue to address those pockets. But the fact of the matter is that a national conversation and education to the people need to be had. And that has we have to have all hands on deck. City Council, all other towns, NDCs, and everybody on the same page.
The government has long condemned the indiscriminate dumping of garbage across the city and has led a number of cleanup campaigns with the hope of inspiring a change in behavior. The Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago, Kamla Persad-Bissessor, is once again expressing concern and calling for a full explanation of the reappointment of the CARICOM Secretary General, Dr. Carla Barnett, saying the issue must be fully addressed. The government of Trinidad and Tobago has rejected Dr. Barnett's reappointment. In a statement overnight, Persad-Bissessor said while her country remains committed to CARICOM, her government will not continue to contribute to CARICOM unless the issue is transparently addressed. Besessar said the appointment of Dr. Barnett for another 5 years has direct ramifications for her country, signaling her dissatisfaction with Dr. Barnett's first term. She said it is not a simple run-of-the-mill administrative appointment. It's an appointment with long-term ramifications for the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago, since the appointment directly affects the future over the coming 5 years of Trinidad and Tobago's economy, security, integration, and foreign affairs. Prasad Besessar described the process used to reappoint Dr. Barnett as surreptitious and odious, and wants answers on how the process was done and what factors were used to measure Dr. Barnett's successes. Trinidad and Tobago has since written the CARICOM Chairman, Prime Minister of St. Kitts and Nevis, Dr. Terence Drew, formally placing its objection to the reappointment of Dr. Carla Barnett as the Secretary General of CARICOM on record. Trinidad and Tobago is maintaining that the reappointment was not undertaken in accordance with Article 24 of the revised Treaty of Chaguaramas, which requires formal consideration and appointment by the conference. Prasad Besessar said it received no response to her government's many clarifications sought. Prasad Besessar and her government were upset over CARICOM's perceived silence last year and its position of zone of peace when the U.S. was inching into Caribbean waters with war machines. Established by William Stewart Cameron and his cousin Charles Edward Shepherd on the 4th of April 1901, the Cameron & Shepherd law firm has not only stood the test of time, but has demonstrated an ability to adapt to the changing legal landscape while serving with excellence. On Saturday, the distinguished Guyanese law firm celebrated 125 years of existence. And during an evening of reflection and commendation at the Pegasus, the managing partner at Cameron & Shepherd, Senior Counsel Ralph Ramkaran, said throughout the agency's 125 years of existence, the law firm had a total of 19 partners. 15 of them were Guyanese, including the 6 senior partners.
It is not for me to say whether Cameron & Shepherd's reputation in 1926 is anything close to what it is in 2026. At that time, there were at most a few dozen lawyers in practice. Today, there are hundreds, many of great skill and learning, some of whom are present here this evening. But I can say that we strive every day to live up to our responsibilities to our clients, to the judiciary, and to the rule of law, and to maintain the standards of the past.
Describing Cameron & Shepherd as an indigenous Guyanese firm, Ramkaran said it has survived 60 years in colonial British Guyana and more than 60 years in independent Guyana. He also said while many great names fell, Cameron & Shepherd survived with its original name, character and structure intact because of its commitment to its clients, its dedication to excellence and trust among the partners based on a rigid adherence to fundamental standards and principles. Mr. Ramkaran also said the law firm operates today in an era of unprecedented reforms and development, both at the level of the justice system and the country's economic landscape.
For the law firms that present themselves as partnerships, we have the single largest number of cases in court. We are the single largest customer of the Supreme Court Registry, the Deeds Registry, and the Land Registry. We contribute hundreds of millions of dollars to these agencies on behalf of our clients. We therefore take seriously the need for collaboration, respectful and responsible relationships which we strive to foster.
And Acting Chancellor of the Judiciary, Justice Roxanne George, was among those who offered words of commendation. Justice George, while applauding the law firm for chronicling its history, said it is known for producing lawyers who are erudite and respectful.
I've had the benefit of the lawyers from Cameron & Shepherd appearing before me, and one can count on them to not only represent their clients and represent them well, but to engage the court in an erudite and a respectful manner at all times.
Attorney General Anil Nandlal was among the other dignitaries present. Cameron and Shepherd was acknowledged for its contribution to law and the administration of justice in Guyana, including the British Guyana Law Reports, the Guyana Law Reports, and the West Indian Law Reports. Many of those reports capture the contribution of Cameron and Shepherd's attorneys to jurisprudence in Guyana and the region.
Girl Guides Pavilion will have it going on Thursday, 9th of April, when 5-Star General Entertainment and Black Buck Delight send on their annual Easter White and Anything Overseas reunion party. Super Terry and Big P one-man bands, along with Mad Max, Father Moe, and Green Dungs, and Selector Clive's gonna rock you all night.
The vibes are gonna be epic.
Thursday, April 9th, Girl Guides Pavilion is the place to be.
Welcome to Churches New Amsterdam.
20 years of churches, chickens, you and us, and there is nothing missing. So many friends and strangers pass through our doors, and they always come back for more. Feel the love. Guyana, the love keeps growing, and we thankful for the support you are showing. There's so many locations and much more to come. It's gratitude and celebration. Can you feel the love? 20 years of churches, chickens, you and us, and there is nothing missing. So many friends and strangers pass through our doors, and they always come back for more. Feel the love.
Guyana, up your cash! Over 100 winners! More than $2.5 million in cash and prizes up for grabs. Win cash every week. Plus a chance to up your cash to $500,000. And that's not all. Win back your grocery bill up to $20,000 cash every week. Just grab any Buster Turbo Energy Drink, Fruitopia, Oasis Flavored Water, Fruita, or Viva Sparkling Flavored Water. Look for the code starting with BB, then visit at Buster Guyana on Facebook or Instagram for details. Up your cash today.
Your business is built on hard work, vision, and the drive to succeed. At GBTI, we understand what it takes to grow. That's why we offer Grow, a small business service designed to help your business expand, adapt, and reach its full potential. From new opportunities to new milestones, we're here to support you every step of the way. Grow from GBTI. Progress starts here.
Rapidly transforming, and we're all part of it. Guy is at the forefront of this development by providing reliable and efficient energy and supporting community development from the very core. 100% of Guy's profit goes back to building schools, roads, and other important infrastructure that connects our cities and towns, providing fuel to domestic, marine, industrial, and aerial transportation. Guy Oil has now repositioned itself as a market leader in the petroleum industry, building a better future.
Feel spice power in every sip.
With your regional and international news tonight, I am Svetlana Marshall. In the region, Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago, Kamla Persson-Bissessar, has doubled down on her criticism of the procedure utilized by CARICOM heads of government to reappoint Dr. Carla Burnett to a second term as Secretary General. In a statement on Sunday, Persson-Bissessar criticized CARICOM officials for failing to respond to official requests from her government for information related to Barnett's controversial reappointment during a meeting in St. Kitts and Nevis, attended by her in late February. Highlighting her concerns, Persson-Bissessar took umbrage at the election taking place on a boat ride to Nevis during a retreat for the CARICOM leaders, which took place after she had already departed. Representatives from Antigua and Barbuda and the Bahamas were also reportedly not allowed to participate when the majority decision was taken by the leaders present. The Trinidadian Prime Minister said this raises serious concerns about the use of improper procedures to circumvent the process and facilitate Barnett's reappointment. Passant Besessar suggested that the issue was not trivial. She claimed that the appointment was unlawful as it was in breach of the revised Treaty of Chaguaramas, which established CARICOM. Venezuela's government and its political opposition are seeking to coordinate their legal defense of the oil-rich country's United States assets after Washington's official recognition of interim President Delcy Rodriguez raised questions about who could represent the country in U.S. courts. Lawyers for Rodriguez's government and the opposition asked Manhattan-based U.S. Magistrate Judge Sarah Nedburn on Monday to pause for 4 to 5 days, a case in which creditors are seeking to seize funds linked to state oil company PDVSA, while they determine who would represent Venezuela's interests. The letters signal potential cooperation between the opposition and Rodriguez's government in the safeguarding of U.S. assets, including Houston-based oil refiner Citgo Petroleum, from creditors including holders of debt issued by PDVSA and Venezuela's government. Companies whose Venezuelan assets were expropriated and victims of acts of alleged terrorism. Relations between the opposition and Venezuela's socialist government have long been acrimonious. The opposition has controlled U.S. assets, including Citgo, since 2019, when Washington first imposed sanctions on PDVSA in a bid to pressure now-jailed President Nicolas Maduro to leave office. And finally tonight, international news. The 4 astronauts of NASA's Artemis II mission flew deeper into space on Monday than any humans before them, as they cruised through a rare flyby of the shadowed far side of the moon that revealed a lunar surface under cosmic bombardment. The 6-hour flyby came 6 days into a space flight, marking the world's first voyage of astronauts to the vicinity of the moon since NASA's Cold War era Apollo missions more than half a century ago. 6 of those missions landed 2-man teams on the moon between 1969 and 1972, the only 12 humans ever to walk on its surface. Artemis, a successor to the Apollo program, aims to repeat that achievement by 2028, ahead of China's first landing, and to establish a long-term U.S. lunar presence over the next decade, including a moon base to serve as a providing ground for potential future missions to Mars. And that's your News Source Evening Bulletin for tonight. I'm Svetlana Marshall, wishing you a pleasant evening.